I had paid $4,500 for her girl's trip to Napa Valley last month. A week of wine tasting with her college friends. When her fitness tracker data showed she'd been logging morning runs in Scottsdale, Arizona the whole week, the same city where her ex-boyfriend from college lives. Hey friends, please subscribe and turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. Denver in late August starts that beautiful transition where summer's intense heat softens and you can feel fall approaching in the cool mornings. The Front Range visible and crisp, everyone squeezing in last camping trips and mountain hikes before September hits. The Rockies reminding you why you live at altitude. I'm 34, work as a data analyst for a tech company downtown, the kind of work where you're constantly finding patterns in information, where anomalies stand out immediately, where your job is literally to notice when data doesn't match expectations. Morgan is 31, works as a marketing manager for a craft brewery in Reno, managing their social media and brand partnerships and event marketing. Creative, energetic, always planning content shoots and influencer collaborations, constantly showing me engagement metrics and campaign results. We've been together for 2 years and 4 months, living together in my house in the Highlands for the past 16 months. Talked about getting engaged in the next 6 months, the kind of solid relationship where you're planning a future together. The Napa trip had come up in early July. Morgan had been talking about wanting to do a proper girls' trip with her college friends, Sarah, Amanda, and Jess. They'd been close at CU Boulder, stayed in touch after graduation, but hadn't done a big trip together in years. Morgan wanted to plan something special. She'd suggested Napa Valley. A week in wine country, tastings, nice dinners, spa days, the whole luxury experience. She'd found a beautiful Airbnb, planned out wineries to visit, made reservations at good restaurants. The total cost would be around $6,000 for everything. Her share of accommodations, flights, activities, meals. She didn't have $6,000 saved for a vacation. She'd been stressed about it, talking about maybe doing a cheaper trip instead, somewhere local. In mid-July I'd offered, let me pay for your Napa trip. Call it an early birthday present. You've been working hard. You deserve a great vacation with your friends. She'd hesitated, said it was too much. I'd insisted. $4,500 would cover her flights, her portion of the Airbnb, activities, most of her meals. I made good money as a senior data analyst, had been saving, could afford it, and I wanted her to have that experience with her friends. She'd finally agreed. I'd given her my credit card to book everything. She'd booked flights to San Francisco, reserved the Airbnb in Napa, scheduled wine tastings. Everything was set for the first week of August. I'd transferred $4,500 to her account on July 20th to cover all her trip expenses. The trip was August 1st through August 7th. Morgan had left early Thursday morning, flying out of DIA to SFO, meeting her friends in Napa. She'd been excited, had packed carefully, kissed me goodbye at 5 a.m. before her Uber to the airport. Over the week, she'd sent regular updates. Photos of wine glasses at vineyards. Selfies with her friends at tastings. Beautiful sunset photos over the valley. Texts about amazing meals and fun days. Day 2 in Napa. Just finished an incredible tasting at Opus 1. Wine glass. Girls' dinner at the French Laundry tonight. So fancy. Dress sparkles. Morning yoga then wine tasting. Living my best life. Woman in lotus position grapes. Everything had seemed perfect. She came home Sunday evening, August 7th, tanned and happy, full of stories about the wineries and the food and quality time with her friends. That was 3 weeks ago. That Tuesday evening, August 27th, I was at home after work doing some analysis for a project. Morgan was at a brewery event, wouldn't be home until 9. I'd finished my work around 7:30 and was mindlessly scrolling on my phone. Opened Strava, the running app Morgan and I both used. We'd connected our accounts months ago, liked seeing each other's runs and workouts, a little friendly competition on weekly mileage. I hadn't checked Strava in a couple weeks. Opened it to log a run I'd done that morning and forgot to record. Saw Morgan's recent activity in my feed. Scrolled through her August runs. She'd been consistent, running almost every morning, her usual 3 to 5 mile routes. Good for her, staying active even on vacation. Then I noticed something odd. Clicked on her run from August 2nd, Friday of her Napa trip. The route map loaded. The run was logged in Scottsdale, Arizona. Not Napa, California. Scottsdale, Arizona. I stared at my phone. Must be a GPS error. Sometimes Strava glitches. Clicked on her August 3rd run. Saturday morning. Scottsdale, Arizona. Different route, same city. August 4th. Sunday morning run. Scottsdale, Arizona. August 5th. Monday. Scottsdale, Arizona. Every single morning run from her Napa trip was logged in Scottsdale, Arizona. I felt something cold settle in my stomach. Opened my laptop. Pulled up Strava on the bigger screen. Looked at each run in detail. August 2nd. 4.2 miles, Scottsdale, Arizona. Route map showed streets I didn't recognize. Morning run, 7:15 a.m. August 3rd. 3.8 miles, Scottsdale, Arizona. Different neighborhood, 7:30 a.m. August 4th. 5.1 miles, Scottsdale, Arizona. Longer route, 7 a.m. August 5th. 4.0 miles, Scottsdale, Arizona. 7:20 a.m. August 6th. 3.5 miles, Scottsdale, Arizona. 7:45 a.m. 5 days. 5 runs. All in Scottsdale, Arizona. Not one run in Napa, California. I pulled up Google Maps. Checked the distance between Napa and Scottsdale. 750 miles. Completely different states. There was no GPS error that would put Napa runs in Scottsdale. These were different cities, different states, hundreds of miles apart. Morgan had been in Scottsdale, Arizona during her Napa trip. I sat there trying to think of explanations. Maybe she'd gone to Scottsdale for part of the trip. Maybe the girls had changed plans. But she'd sent photos from Napa. Wine tastings. Vineyards. The Airbnb with the valley view. I pulled up her Instagram. Went to the week of August 1st to 7th. Found the photos she'd posted. August 2nd. Photo of wine glasses at a tasting room. Caption, Napa dreaming wine glass sun. August 3rd. Sunset photo over hills. Caption, these Napa Valley views smiling face with hard eyes. August 4th. Photo of food at a restaurant. Caption, incredible dinner in wine country. Fork and knife with plate sparkles. I looked at the photos more carefully. The wine tasting photo, I reverse image searched it. Found the same photo on a Napa winery's website from their stock photos. She'd stolen a stock photo and posted it as her own. The sunset photo, I looked at the landscape. Hills, dry grass, desert plants in the foreground. That wasn't Napa Valley vegetation. That looked like Arizona desert. The restaurant photo, just a close-up of food. Could be anywhere. I went back further in her Instagram. Found a photo from August 5th. A selfie of Morgan in workout clothes, sunglasses, clearly post-run. Caption, morning run done. Now for wine tasting. Woman running Raitero wine glass. I zoomed in on the background. Desert landscape. Saguaro cacti visible in the distance. Saguaro cacti don't grow in California. They grow in Arizona. She'd posted a photo from a run in Scottsdale pretending it was Napa. I opened my banking app. Checked the credit card I'd given her for the trip. August 1st. Southwest Airlines, $340. Flight. August 1st. Hotel charge, Scottsdale Marriott Resort, $1,680. 7 nights. August 2nd. Restaurant, Scottsdale, $156. August 3rd. Golf course, Scottsdale, $180. August 4th. Restaurant, Scottsdale, $143. August 5th. Spa, Scottsdale, $420. August 6th. Restaurant, Scottsdale, $167. Every single charge was in Scottsdale, Arizona. No charges in Napa. No charges in San Francisco. No flights to San Francisco Airport. She'd flown to Phoenix. Stayed at a resort in Scottsdale. Spent the week there, using my money, while telling me she was in Napa with her friends. I searched my memory for anything Morgan had mentioned about Scottsdale or Arizona. Then I remembered. Her ex-boyfriend from college, Ethan. She'd mentioned him a few times early in our relationship. They'd dated junior and senior year at CU Boulder, been serious, broken up after graduation when he moved away for work. She'd called him her college love, once, said they'd ended on good terms, but the timing wasn't right. I'd asked where he'd moved. She'd said Arizona. Scottsdale specifically. Working in tech sales. Scottsdale. I opened Facebook, searched for Ethan and Morgan's last name and Scottsdale. Found him. Ethan Brennan, 32, lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. Works in software sales. His profile was mostly private, but his profile picture was visible. Photo of him on a golf course. Recent photo looked current. I searched for any connection between Morgan and Ethan's profiles. They weren't Facebook friends publicly, but that didn't mean anything. I went back to Morgan's Instagram, looked at who she followed, scrolled through hundreds of accounts, found one at @EthanBrennan_Z, clicked through, private account, but the profile photo matched Facebook. Ethan Brennan, Scottsdale. Morgan followed her ex-boyfriend on Instagram. I checked when she'd started following him. Instagram doesn't show that, but I went back through her following list history using a browser extension I had for work. She'd followed him on June 28th, 5 weeks ago, right before she'd started planning the Napa trip. I sat there as the pieces came together. Morgan had reconnected with her ex-boyfriend Ethan sometime in June, started following him on Instagram, planned a trip to Scottsdale to see him, told me it was a girls' trip to Napa with college friends, used my $4,500 to fund a week-long romantic getaway with her ex-boyfriend. Every run logged in Scottsdale. Every credit card charge in Scottsdale. Photos staged to look like Napa. All lies. I took screenshots of everything. The Strava runs with Scottsdale locations. The credit card charges. Her Instagram photos with the saguaro cacti. Ethan's profile. All of it. Then I texted Sarah, one of Morgan's college friends, who was supposedly on the trip. Hey Sarah, it's Ryan. Quick question. How was Napa? Morgan had such a great time. I wanted to get your impression of the wineries you guys visited. Sarah replied within 10 minutes. Napa? We didn't go to Napa. We were thinking about it, but it fell through. Too expensive. I haven't seen Morgan since 4th of July actually. What? I replied. My mistake. Must have gotten my wires crossed. Thanks. So the girls' trip had been canceled. Morgan had lied about that too. She hadn't gone to Napa with friends. She'd gone to Scottsdale alone. To see Ethan. Using my money. I sat in my house waiting for Morgan to come home from her event. She came in around 9:15, smiling and energetic. Hey, how was your day? The event was great. We got some good content for social. She saw my face. What's wrong? How was Napa? What? Napa was great. I told you all about it. Tell me again. What wineries did you visit? We went to Opus One, and that place in Yountville. And why are you asking? Because you weren't in Napa. You were in Scottsdale. All color drained from her face. What are you talking about? I turned my laptop around. Showed her the Strava map with 5 runs logged in Scottsdale, Arizona. Every morning run you logged that week was in Scottsdale. Not Napa. Scottsdale. That's a GPS error. 5 days in a row, all in the same city. That's not an error. I pulled up the credit card statement. Every charge on my card that week was in Scottsdale. The hotel, restaurants, a golf course, a spa, all in Scottsdale, Arizona. Ryan, I can explain. You were visiting Ethan, your ex-boyfriend from college who lives in Scottsdale. She started crying. How did you? How did I know? Because I'm a data analyst. I look at data for a living. And your data shows you spent a week in Scottsdale using my money while telling me you were in Napa with your friends. It wasn't like that. What was it like then? You told me you were going to Napa with Sarah, Amanda, and Jess. I texted Sarah. She said the Napa trip fell through. She hasn't seen you since July. So who were you with in Scottsdale? I was with Ethan, she whispered. Your ex-boyfriend? Yes. For the whole week. Yes. Using $4,500 I gave you for a girl's trip that you lied about. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. What did you mean to happen? Walk me through your thinking. You reconnected with Ethan in June. Followed him on Instagram June 20th. Then came to me with a fake story about a Napa girls trip. Got me to pay $4,500 for it. Flew to Phoenix instead of San Francisco. Spent a week at a Scottsdale resort with your ex, sent me fake photos and updates pretending you were in Napa. Came home and lied to my face about the whole thing. What part of that didn't you mean to happen? I didn't plan to reconnect with Ethan. He reached out to me in June. We started talking. Old feelings came up. So you decided to spend a week with him using my money. I was confused about my feelings. I needed to see him to figure out if what we had was still there. And is it? Did you figure it out during your romantic week in Scottsdale that I paid for? She was sobbing now. I don't know. I'm still confused. Let me help you with the confusion. Did you sleep with him? She didn't answer. Morgan, did you sleep with Ethan during your week in Scottsdale? Yes, she whispered. I felt like I'd been punched even though I'd known the answer. How many times? Does it matter? Yes. Every night. We stayed together in the hotel room. The hotel room I paid for. I'm sorry. You used my credit card to book a hotel room where you fucked your ex-boyfriend for a week, while sending me photos and texts pretending you were on a girl's trip. I know it was wrong. Wrong doesn't even begin to cover it. You committed fraud. You lied to get money from me under false pretenses. That's fraud. I was going to pay you back. When? After you decided whether you wanted to be with me or with Ethan. You were going to string me along while you figured out your feelings for your ex? I love you. I'm just confused. You're not confused. You made a choice. You chose to lie to me, take my money, and spend a week with your ex. That's not confusion. That's betrayal. What are you going to do? I'm going to call my attorney tomorrow and sue you for the $4,500. Fraud. You can't. I don't have $4,500. You should have thought of that before you used my money to cheat on me with your ex-boyfriend. What about us? What about our relationship? Our relationship ended the moment you got on a plane to Phoenix instead of San Francisco. Pack your things and get out of my house. Where am I supposed to go? Ethan's place in Scottsdale. Your college friends. A hotel. I don't care. But you're not staying here. Ryan, please. Get out. She tried everything over the next few hours. Cried. Apologized. Promised she'd choose me over Ethan. Said she'd never see him again. Begged for another chance. I didn't engage. Just told her to pack. Around midnight, she'd loaded her car with clothes and essentials. She stood in the driveway crying. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But we can work through this. You didn't make a mistake. You executed a plan. You lied. You stole. You cheated. Those were all choices. And now you get to live with the consequences. She drove away. The next morning I called my attorney. Phil, I need to sue someone for fraud. I gave my girlfriend $4,500 for a girl's trip to Napa. She actually went to Scottsdale to spend the week with her ex-boyfriend. Used my money for the hotel, meals, activities, all of it. Do you have proof she misrepresented where she was going? I have her fitness tracker data showing she was in Scottsdale all week. Credit card statements showing every charge in Scottsdale. Text messages from her friend confirming the Napa trip was canceled. Photos she posted with Arizona vegetation pretending it was California. That's solid evidence of fraud. She obtained money from you based on false representations. File a police report first, then we'll file civil suit. I filed the police report that afternoon. Fraud by deception. The detective was sympathetic but said recovering money in these cases was always difficult. The civil lawsuit was filed Friday. Morgan Caldwell, defendant, sued for $4,500 plus costs and attorney fees for fraud and misrepresentation. Over the weekend, the messages from Morgan came in waves. Please drop the lawsuit. I'll pay you back somehow. I'm staying with a friend. I have nowhere to go. Please don't do this. Ethan and I aren't even together. It was a mistake. I choose you. I replied once. You had a week in Scottsdale to choose me. You chose Ethan. Live with it. Monday morning, I got a call from an unknown Scottsdale number. Is this Ryan? Yes. Who's this? This is Ethan Brennan. Morgan's. I guess ex-boyfriend now. Both of ours. What do you want? I need to know what happened. Morgan just told me about you. That she's been in a relationship with you for over 2 years. That she's been living with you. I had no idea. When did you reconnect with her? June. We matched on a dating app. Started talking. She said she was single, living in Denver, working in marketing. She never mentioned having a boyfriend. Did you know she was coming to visit you in August? Yes, but she told me she was taking vacation time to come see me, to see if we still had a connection. She said she was staying at the Marriott. I met her there. We spent the week together. Did she tell you I paid for that trip? What? No. She said she'd saved up for it. I gave her $4,500 thinking she was going to Napa with college friends. She used my money to fund her trip to see you. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. If I'd known she was in a relationship, I never would have. It's not your fault. She lied to both of us. Are you really suing her? Yes. For fraud. She lied to get money from me, used it to cheat on me with you. I don't blame you. For what it's worth, we're done. When she told me about you, I ended things immediately. I don't date cheaters. Good call. Over the next few weeks, things developed. Morgan tried to fight the lawsuit initially. Her attorney argued it was a gift with no strings attached. My attorney countered with the evidence. Her texts explicitly saying, girl's trip to Napa. Sarah's confirmation the trip was canceled. The Strava data, the credit card charges, all proving she'd lied about where she was going and what she was doing. By mid-September, Morgan settled. She couldn't pay $4,500 up front, but agreed to monthly payments of $500 for 9 months. Late September, I ran into one of Morgan's brewery colleagues at a coffee shop in Reno. Ryan, hey man, I heard what happened with Morgan. The whole brewery knows. I'm sorry you went through that. Thanks. How's she doing? She's not at the brewery anymore. She quit about 2 weeks ago. I think the story got around and it became awkward. Using her boyfriend's money to cheat on him with an ex is pretty bad optics for someone in marketing. Where'd she go? No idea. Someone said she moved back to Colorado Springs to live with her parents. By October, I was completely reset. The house felt like mine again. I'd changed things around, removed anything that reminded me of Morgan, started taking Colorado cooking classes, green chili preparation, Rocky Mountain cuisine, regional specialties. The focus on local ingredients was grounding. Work continued its normal rhythm. Data analysis, finding patterns, identifying anomalies. The same skills that had helped me discover Morgan's lies. I didn't feel triumphant about Morgan's situation. I felt clear about the decision I'd made. Working as a data analyst had taught me that data doesn't lie. People lie. Stories lie. But data, GPS coordinates, timestamps, credit card transactions, tells the truth. Morgan had told me a story about Napa. Her data told me the truth about Scottsdale. I trusted the data. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt whole. When your girlfriend's fitness tracker shows she was in a completely different state than where she said she was on the vacation you paid for, do you assume it's a technical error or do you immediately investigate the discrepancy? Share your perspective in the comments.